All right, y'all, man. We got think before you sleep, smoke detector. Okay. Um, hit the link. Follow up on think before you sleep. Think before you sleep. Follow up over here. Yeah. Would you hit the like button, sub up, fucking comment down below. Guess the chicken. This is gonna be something, man.
Guess the chicken for $100.
Ooh, hold on. That's KFC. That's Publix chicken. Popeyes. This one is for sure Popeyes.
The joke is that he can see through the bottom of the blindfold. And if you didn't notice that, then it might be the magician's sleight of hand of distracting you with the ceiling bird that's in the background.
Yep. Yep.
That being said, welcome to Stereotypes. And on that note, we have a TikTok sociologist here who got 3 million views for explaining the reasoning behind the smoke detector phenomenon.
Have you ever thought about how we came to associate the beep of a dying fire alarm with being broke?
Really? Because I've always associated people not being able to replace a battery with being stupid and lazy.
Where's the, excuse me?
You see what I mean about the quality of person who lets those things go off incessantly? But I guess I'm wrong. Not having about $3.50 to quiet...
You gotta understand, like, no diss. When you live in a house that don't do that, like, that don't happen. It happens rarely when you gotta change the battery, you change it. But, like, it don't happen. But then when you go into another place, I'm like, like, yo, what the fuck? Change your shit, bro. You know, I get, granted, once you get used to it, you get used to it. But like, yeah, man, that's just
the noise of a safety device that's designed to piss you off until you fix it is really just about being born into oppressive situations, and the generational trauma from that has caused them to become immune to the sound.
I'm a sociologist, and sociology is the study of society and human behavior in social context. One of my 5 major focuses is the biopsychosocial axis, or somatics, and the social is how our lived experiences are, at least in part, the responsibility of someone else, and vice versa.
Holy shit, man, we get it. You've read a book before.
Yeah, you're like, people like, I like the scientific terms you're using, but it's, you can be like, yeah, it's things you go through will probably affect your life. Yeah. Like, if you get robbed going down, or you get robbed going to certain places, yeah, I think you're like, well, I'm going to probably think before I go down there again without checking the time or doing whatever or not being on point. But when you, it's like, just makes sense. Well, or like when you go to, if your car gets like the window smashed at this place, it's like, well, I'm probably just not going to go there again. I'll just go somewhere else.
This Kai's and that in like 3 years.
Her love for me goes beyond all reasons and does not come from a place of reciprocity. Reciprocity, yes.
The sad thing is that simply being willing to look up a word that he didn't know puts him ahead of most college English majors according to this literacy study. But let me translate for all the people who didn't waste time taking college classes in a field that is largely considered to be a joke these days. Essentially, the sociology guy said, if you're too lazy to change a battery, that's the fault of society, not yours.
Today I want to talk about the prefrontal cortex. In order to identify the relationship between beeping fire alarms, being broke, and the prefrontal cortex, we need to understand what the prefrontal cortex is. But the prefrontal cortex also has a role in governing executive function. And executive function is many things, but I mostly identify it as the ability to identify, initiate, follow through on, and complete a task.
Bro, it's not that complicated. You open up the smoke detector, take the battery out, get a new battery, and put the new battery in. And if you're too ignorant of how electronics operate to figure that out by yourself, then there are like a million YouTube shorts that will teach you how to do that in like a minute. I mean, for how ridiculously easy this is, it is insane how many black people I've covered on this channel who have beeping smoke detectors go off in the background. For those of you who are regular viewers, I don't go out and Google like 500 videos of black people just to find the one person who has a ceiling bird chirping in the background. When I cover people like that rapper Dank Damas who sued
Ceiling bird is funny. I like that.
Lyft because she was too fat to fit into a normal sized car, it's just in the video of her talking about the event.
I'm outside and you pulling off on me, bitch. I don't give a fuck if you gave me my fucking money back.
There's a reason why black people get ridiculed for this. There's a reason why other black people are ridiculing black people for this.
And I just really feel like I deserve this job. And if there's one thing about me, if there's something that needs to be fixed, I will fix it.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting.
It's just perfect timing too sometimes, right when they stop.
Here waiting for this guy who's writing his doctoral thesis on smoke alarms to call me a racist for criticizing black culture.
Listen the fuck up, white people. Every other race is more racist than you. You don't believe me? Ask a black person what they think about a Chinese guy. Ask a Jew what they think about black people. Ask an Indian what they think about Mexicans.
Ask a Japanese person what they think about the Chinese. Actually, you don't have to. They'll just tell you. So miss me with the racism bullshit. It's current year and everyone's done with getting called racist for criticizing the behavior of anyone who isn't white. Anyway, let's get back to why the African American community can't figure out how batteries work.
One of the most common circumstances in which we can identify a dysregulated prefrontal cortex and by extension an inhibited capacity for executive functioning is in people with an ADHD diagnosis. ADHD is characterized by a lot of things, but chief among them, the ability to identify, initiate, follow through on, and complete tasks. This is also why adults with ADHD can have a hard time being on time to things. Because if the prefrontal cortex...
A lot of this is just like, yeah, I could just be like, on my P's and Q's. I could just be like, well, okay, so if I leave here at, I gotta be somewhere. Hold on, let's just lay the plot. I gotta be somewhere. It's 15-minute drive. I leave here 12:30. You gotta be there 12 o'clock. I leave at 12, or I leave at 12:05 or 12:10. That's the max. Why? Well, traffic. Guess what? You might forget you have to put gas. Something goes on. You never know. Be a little early. No, it's because I have ADHD. I can't focus. No, just be early, dude. You just remember the time, bro. If you can't, just set an alarm. Holy,
is not firing the way it's supposed to. It's just not firing. And no amount of yelling or frustration or cutting people off is going to change that.
Let me just get ChatGPT to translate that last segment, and he's saying that black people are late all the time because of biology. Well, that sounds kind of racist, but whatever.
What the fuck?
Now, I know he didn't say black people, but notice how he's only covering black stereotypes as he uses his college degree to continuously make excuses for the problem instead of providing solutions.
There are a lot of biopsychosocial phenomena that correspond with the dysregulation of the prefrontal cortex or other parts of the brain, like anxiety and depression, but also acute and chronic stress and trauma. And those are the ones that I kind of want to focus on, especially because the definitions of stress and trauma and what constitutes something that is stressful or traumatic isn't really up to you or somebody else. What does is the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis and the sympathoadrenal medullary axis, which are structures within the brain that govern our stress responses. When they identify something that constitutes stress, they release stress hormones. They release cortisol, they release adrenaline, norepinephrine, noradrenaline, and in circumstances where there are continual stressors that they can identify, they are releasing that on a loop. They're releasing it too frequently, and this overwhelms the brain and dysregulates its traditional functions.
My God, enough with the SAT words. Speak normally. If I wanted to watch someone masturbate all over themselves, then I would just go on chat roulette. I can't stand it when people speak like this, because the point is
not... It's like, it gets to a point where people think they're smart. I'm not saying he's not smart. It clearly is. Got a degree, right? You're smart, huh? No, he's probably smarter than most people, but like when people start talking like they're smarter than a lot, like come on, bro. You can tell when they start using the same attitude. No, it's like you gotta understand. It's like the mobility of the air movement in the world. Science is not functioned the way you understand. Though you gotta understand me though. Like the way I use my breath to inhale the oxygen is the H2O like, dude, shut the fuck up, man. Just tell me you breathe. Amazing, man. You don't gotta break it down in scientific terms, man.
Not to effectively communicate an idea. The point is to make people think you're smart. Look, he even pulls out a book to read, which I'm sure that decision had nothing to do with another negative stereotype about black culture. But you know what? I do think it's fine to use specific...
We're just missing big glasses, and then he's 100% there.
Or esoteric terminology when you're talking to your colleagues who are knowledgeable in that field. For example, if you want to spend time talking about neurotransmitters with your friends who are psychology majors, I think that's great and useful. But when people speak like this to general audiences, quite honestly, I think it's pretentious. I think it's done to make the speaker look good at the expense of making the audience feel stupid. And most importantly, I have yet to see a person who speaks like this to general audiences who wasn't doing that to hide the fact that he is either saying nothing of importance or hide the fact that his argument is retarded. Because certainly not being able to
Yeah,
simplify
he's
his talking points so that regular people can follow along
No.
is a sign that he doesn't understand them that well.
Now, there are countless studies, many of which I draw on for my own research, that link the lived experience of low income or impoverished socioeconomic status with deviations in longitudinal adolescent neurological development, which is just adolescent neurological development over time, and well into adulthood.
I have longitudinal studies on the lived experiences of the adolescent trauma response to the
No.
intricate modalities of semi-hardwired electronic warning devices. Okay, where are the studies then? It's a VOD. Show them. Put them on screen as B-roll. You know how to use a video editor, right? 12-year-olds can figure that out. I mean, you're going to read a book and use all those $10 words, but you're incapable of bringing up a study to help confirm your hypothesis about smoke detectors? Is it ever a shock how these people are required to cite sources on their college papers or risk getting expelled, but they can't?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would love a source. If he brought up some sources, I'd be like, yo, amazing. Keep on putting out this. But like, bro, you're like, you got a degree, and now you're filming TikToks for. I'm gonna see like. He might. I mean, you gotta think before you sleep. What you call it? You got him covering you, so you got something going. But
Put a source in a video to save their life. And the crazy thing here is not the fact that this video got millions of views. The crazy thing is all the people in the comments who are acting like this guy is the second coming of Jesus for using a bunch of technical jargon to say that it's not your fault if you're too stupid to change
is this TikTok premium?
a battery. This guy is like the human equivalent to Duolingo. That app will waste tons of your time making you think that you're learning Japanese without actually teaching you anything significant outside of a few colors and how to say hello. There's no bigger indicator that someone will never get past beginner level at a language than them saying that they study with Duolingo. So this is like the TikTok influencer version of that. And by the way, for me, the smoke detector thing is not about black people. That just happens to be the internet stereotype.
The African ceiling bird. It calls and is ignored.
I wasn't even aware of it
Oof, AI is just going, man. They make some great memes.
until I started using Twitter. But my dislike for people not being
Twitter is a farm, bro. You just gotta, you can, bro. Twitter has everything. You name it, from what you hate to what you like, to the dark shit to the light, bro. They have everything.
able to change their smoke alarm batteries comes from listening to years of a love, sex, and relationships radio call-in show called Loveline with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla. It was a running bit on the show to ridicule every caller who had their smoke detector beeping in the background.
My question is it okay if you're like tired of hearing about it, about
Oh my God.
like,
First call of the night.
Smoke detector, huh?
Bro, did you hear that little chirping sound?
you can hear it?
Well, we're just glad to know that you can hear it.
TV is still on, too.
You're tired of hearing about 9/11.
Yes, and I just want to know, is it okay? Like,
Yeah, most people... There we go again.
Yeah.
How do you live with that thing chirping in the background? It's hard to have a...
you sort of just learn to tune in.
Oh, there's one in another room going off. Did you hear that?
She got a damn switch on it. Bro, okay, that, granted, if you live with it, you will get used to it. But if you don't, and then, like, you may have a friend, family, or just whatever, you just hear it, it throws you off so much. And it's not, I mean, it's, bro, change it, but, like, it's kind of like a safety hazard, man. Just, come on, bro. Like, just in case, for your safety, please change it, man. I want you to have a healthy smoke alarm. You're just about to die.
You can hear
You've got two separate smoke detectors that are low on batteries?
There's like one in each room.
And they're all chirping?
Yeah.
Bro,
That would
imagine
bother a reptile.
I don't even think 2 is the record. Actual
Oh
Justice Warrior
my
did a video on
gosh.
this where he brought up the interview of that black girl who smacked.
I've seen this one. I haven't seen the video. I've just seen the clip when I was watching someone's breakdown of this video. It was hilarious, man. It was Poor Man's Podcast. Shout out to him.
At the girl on the back of the head with the baton during a race.
Oh,
She had
shit.
like 8 smoke detectors going off the entire time. I can't believe the reporter didn't just hit the silence button so they could do the interview in peace. But that's not why I'm bringing up Actual Justice
Cut.
Warrior's video. I'm bringing it up
That's
because of
funny.
an interesting comment about fatherlessness that was written by a viewer that I think is confirmed by the Loveline episode.
Now, that's in your bedroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at night,
It keeps going.
you go to bed, right?
Oh my God.
Who do you live with, by the way?
My mom.
Interesting phrasing. I would love to see a study on the correlation between single parenthood and the proclivity to have a beeping smoke alarm in the house. As for the PhD
Would you even go deeper in between single dads and single mothers, or not that deep? How deep are we going with it?
candidate, I hate it when people just sit
curious.
and complain and don't provide solutions or search for solutions to the problems that they speak about. Fortunately, in my opinion, it is none other than other black people who have to live around people who can't change a battery, who are the most disgusted by that behavior.
People have black fatigue, not because they hate black people because they're black. They have black fatigue because of how people act, how black people poorly represent themselves and carry themselves within society. All the problems that we have, we can blame ourselves for, but we rather sit back and blame the white man for it. That's why people are tired of dealing with black people, because there's no positive solution. There's no productiveness of black people today in America. Nobody today hates black people because black people exist. Nobody has a hatred of black people because black people are black. People have a disdain for black behavior, and guess what? We're judged by the content of our character and not the color of our skin today.
You see how he was able to speak plainly in a way that's easy to understand without trying to insult you by flexing how many SAT words he's memorized? You know what's also great about this video? Unlike our sociology student, this guy actually provides 5 minutes of solutions to the problem instead of 8 minutes of excuses.
So how do we stop people from having black fatigue? How do we change this? How do we turn it around? Crime is the biggest issue within the black community. It's we, at the end of the day, we have to deal with the crime and instability that affects our community. That's not the white man coming into the community.
And it's like, with the words, like, I'm just saying how he's breaking it down. It's like, you gotta understand, once you're using scientific terms and shit, not saying normal people don't understand bigger words, but like, bro, you're using words that normal day people are not gonna be like, oh, I understand that. It's like, bro, you're using words that's in a study that's pretty niche. Like, I forgot it was study of fucking something. Like, you're using a niche study words that like people don't use. Him, like, he's just using amazing speaking. I mean, I don't know. It's just he was using bigger words. I guess like more scientific words than he is. I don't really care though.
And shooting up the gas station and the bus stop. That's black people doing it because that's what we glorify music of violence. We glorify a culture of instability. We glorify a culture of having no order and no control for ourselves and around us.
My opinion is that the pretentious sociology student doesn't give a shit about black people at all. And let me clarify that by saying that as much as you think people on Twitter are racist, personally, I think the most racist people are people like this guy who pretend to help black people while at the same time doing everything in their power to sabotage them. Your local Twitter Nazi couldn't dream of being so effective at harming the black community that he would get 3 million views for it and tons of public praise for it. So, congrats, buddy. Though in reality, I think the people who actually care about you are people like this guy.
Hold on. Let's read these comments. Poverty is traumatic. You talk at the perfect speed. ChatGPT could never teach me this. I wonder why, huh? ChatGPT's like, fucking fix the battery. Just fucking change the batteries. Fuck. This is why everyone needs to be studying what is this? Social, I don't know. Fuck if I know. I gotta hurry.
Congrats, buddy. Though in reality, I think the people who actually care about you are people like this guy, Andre Williams, who will speak frankly instead of filling your mind with bullshit that doesn't actually lead to a solution.
Like, I doubt that other guy speaks full bullshit. I'm sure he has some great work, some great messaging.
And a very simple solution to help catalyze what this man is saying is just to bring back a culture of shame.
We need to judge people and their poverty because the same thing that makes people make poor financial decisions so they do not advance economically is likely what is leading them to ignore the smoke detector chirp, which is a lack of long-term.
And that's true. I think people are not like really shame. Like, cause I just watched a video. It was a young kid. I would say maybe he was like 9 to 10 years old, 8 to 9 to 10. Like he blanked himself. But yeah, like shame in ways like Christian Rock. Dude, I've watched this series now, Poor Man's Podcast, just reacting to a couple videos, and bro, people should have shamed her. She was drinking with a baby, smoking, doing drugs. doing all types of shit with a baby. And the baby's like, what, 3 or 4 years old and can't stand? And it's not like a diss to the baby, you know. Pray for the baby, hope he's good. But, like, man, that's only if someone was like, yo, you don't need to do this. It's insane, man. It is insane.
Thinking and long-term planning.
Right, because the reality is that if you're poor, it's not because of a system of oppression. You have access to infinite good information on your phone. You can learn any skill you want to the highest extent for free or for very little cost and not that much time investment. So if you're destitute, then it's because you're lazy or because you make bad decisions or because people who would help you don't want to be around you because you're a bad or a toxic person.
Wrapping it up nicely together in the dying fire alarm, if we can start to understand that the lived experience of low income or impoverished socioeconomic statuses can dysregulate the prefrontal cortex such that the simple task of replacing the fire alarm is made difficult, then we can also start to recognize that living with fire alarms that beep and beep and beep until they die is going to be a more common occurrence in places where people of those socioeconomic statuses are concentrated.
Right. Poverty is why they can't go onto their phone and Google how to change a battery.
Yeah, like, I don't think that's really excuse. Like, that's the biggest excuse. Maybe they can't afford batteries this month, but, like, I think the dollar store sells them. Again, shit, just change it, bro. Like, people get what you call people get people get used to shit quick, man. They probably just get used to it, like, whatever. I'm gonna do it next week. I'll do it next year. Yeah, people get used to shit, man.
How is this guy's mentality helpful? By the way, for those of you who think that shaming doesn't work, here's a proof of concept.
Something so tragic happened the other day that I was just silent for like 20 minutes because I can't believe that actually just happened. I live in Tokyo, and in Tokyo, everyone keeps to themselves. Like, they don't really say anything to you, like, even if they're thinking it. But we just did a road trip down to Miyazaki, which is like still a city, but it's the countryside. Anyways, this old lady had to have been, I don't know, 70 to 85, and she's walking along behind us, and she does the full rubberneck looks, right? She pulls this one. She looks at me up and down and goes.
Now you might think, how rude of that Japanese lady. Doesn't she have any manners? Doesn't she know how to treat people appropriately? But here's the thing. The shaming worked.
I didn't think I was fat until I moved to Japan. I wouldn't say I was ever morbidly obese. And obviously I try to love myself at any size, whatever. That's not what this is about. But when I moved to Japan, I started losing weight.
You gotta throw in the buzzword. She's right. I mean, their culture is just different. It's just different, bro. It's just different. You may hate it. You may not like it. It's just different.
Of it being promoted like it is in American culture. Shaming is effective because people who are resistant to change will not improve themselves unless they're made to suffer, and shaming a negative behavior is
I don't think in Japan, I'm gonna skip ahead. I don't think in Japan they're shaming disabled people for not being able. I think they're shaming able people for just not doing able, just not living your life. Hey, man, lose a little bit of weight, man. Which you're trying to do right now too, man. You gotta get locked in with it, bro. It's just better for your life, number one, be more fit, honestly. Change your life and stuff too.
what they learned as quickly as possible. In fact, if you want to get to higher levels of skill and really upgrade your life, then getting good at doing this all the time is essential. But to put it into more basic terms so that people who aren't used to this can understand, you have to make change easy and break it down into small steps that you can handle until you can handle more complex and quicker changes. So what I'm saying is that if changing a smoke detector battery is too complicated for your brain, and for a lot of people it is because they don't understand electronics, then break it down into steps. The first step is
watch a YouTube video.
To Google a video.
Yeah.
You don't even have to watch it. Just Google it and take a break and watch the video the next day. Then the day after that, buy the battery, and on the last day, change it. It's simple. And what you'll find as you get used to breaking down an activity into small steps is that not only will changing a battery...
People gotta understand, not just not saying your house is equals 30 if you have a battery change, but change, it could be you gotta change up your environment or change up whatever. Then more shit starts changing. Then you start going to the gym more because you change this thing. People get more motivated if our room is clean. Just change up shit, man. Clean shit up. It's not that hard. Really not. But again, granted, it's not the biggest deal, but probably should have some good fresh smoke detectors, man. That's probably the best thing for you. Actually, hey, man, I don't want you to have dead smoke detectors, because if something happens and you can't pick up on it because it's a certain gas or a certain leak or whatever, you don't die. Which that could be like a situation that rarely never happens, but I don't want it to happen.
Be easier next time because you already know how to do it. But also, each step will sort of have its own momentum. Objects in motion will stay in motion unless acted upon. That's the law of inertia, and I think you'll find that it's easier to continue working if you already are. So how it plays out is that you Google the video, and in your head you'll say, well, I've already got the video pulled up. It's only a minute. I might as well just watch it. Then you might say, I think I have one of those batteries in a cupboard. I'll just go get it out, and so on and so forth. The idea is that your goal is to replace the smoke detector battery in one sitting, but you genuinely give yourself the option to do just a little bit at a time, and you'll find that more often than not, you'll initiate an activity that you told yourself that you only had to spend a few minutes on, but because of inertia and because it's easier to stay on the same activity than it is to switch to a different one, you'll find yourself having done multiple hours of work. That's actually one of the primary ways that I motivate myself to make videos.
That's why a lot of people, like, when you take breaks, don't take it just a random break, man. Take it when you're actually ready and shit. Or when, you know, don't be taking breaks when you can just finish something that can already be done. Don't take a break if you really don't need to. Like, hey, I'm halfway in between this. I could finish it, then take a break, or take a break, then finish it. Nah, let's just finish it out, because your momentum and shit is just, you're already there. You might as well. Great video, man. Think before you beep. I like it. You know what cases? Huh? Consistent chirping? Yeah. Oh, yes, a hood cricket. Okay. As someone with ADHD, I feel it's my duty to clarify there's no way I will ever let an alarm go off constantly. That would probably fuck up your brain. I'm telling you, bro, if you don't live in that type of, like, if you don't have the thing going off, it just messes up your brain a little. It kind of fucks me up a little. Not like in a rude way, like, oh, I'm gonna die. It's a African ceiling bird, bro. His speech is fast. It is a result of memorizing all the talking points you learned in school. Yeah, it's just you could tell when someone's like trying to. I'm not saying he's not smart, but trying to seem smarter when you do that. I don't want to live near people who think changing batteries is hard. Period. Yeah, but again, with people that do it constant, it's hard to break habits, and they might have done it. Parents did it. Grandma had. I get it. I'm not saying it's not in a constant thing that happens in some people's households. It's a fire alarm. Opinion immediately ignored. Yeah. Let me know what you think about this video. Great video. Hit the link. Follow up. Comment down below. Do you change it? Do you know someone? Is it annoying for you when you don't live with the chirping? Is it annoying for you to like hear it? Let me know.